Okay, hey, we're here with Chris Patrick in Douglasville. He's going to explain a little bit about what he's doing with his basement. Okay, you want to start with the permit?
Sure. I got my own permit at the Douglas County Housing or Building place. That was at the designer's recommendation. She was able to give me all the different names of all the different contractors that were going to be subcontractors that were going to do the work on the house, but I was able to go get my own permit, and that way it was a money saver for me.
Right. Okay, and so then we come in here, and then do you want to just talk a little bit about your original plans for the design?
Yeah, sure. First of all, this is our basement. It's been here since we moved into the house 7 years ago, and we always knew we were going to finish it. And when I called the designer, Atlanta Basements, they came down, but I had already had a plan in mind. I had the plan because this basement was already pretty much framed up. There was walls, there was a back room, there was this family room, and I pretty much had an idea of what I was going to do, and I thought it was pretty nice. My wife was on board, but when Atlanta Basements came and took a look at what we had in here, they had a way better plan that I had not even thought of, and it actually opened up the basement quite a bit. It wasn't so blocky like the walls that were originally here.
Right.
So part of that was actually removing this wall, which was just a lot longer, and this wall was a lot longer, and they recommended, right from the start, taking those walls out and framing it in from there. And I didn't know what to think about that. It sounded good, but they had a structural engineer came out here. He designed what would need to be done to put the extra support beams in there to support everything like this. And he gave me a stamped, certified document showing that he had designed these extra support beams in here. And then once we started the framing, he came back out and
just to make sure, yeah,
the framers to make sure that they put the
microlam beams,
the beams in correctly. So this design is way better than what we had anticipated, and it really didn't make any big difference in the cost of what we had budgeted or planned on doing in the first place.
Okay, so let's talk about what's happened though with regards to this granite over here, or the stone, or whatever.
Obviously, you can see everything has progressed unbelievably fast and efficient. All the contractors have come in. They've all worked together. The electrician was here at the same time as the framers. The HVAC guy was here at the same time as the plumbers, putting in these trays, which that's a whole nother thing, right? About how, I expected to have this low drop ceiling like every other basement, but with what the designer recommended was just simply rerouting a couple things that were in the way into these trays, and then bam, I have a 10-foot ceiling. It's awesome.
We want to talk about homewise.com.
Oh yeah, so the plan was, well, how much is it going to cost to get this high ceiling? Wow, once I heard that design, that's definitely what I wanted. But that might be a little more expensive. People got to reroute. We had some gas line, we had HVAC lines, we had plumbing lines, and the designer sent me straight to a website gave me all of my square footage and said, here's the calculation on how much it will cost to frame up a lower ceiling versus getting the price from the HVAC guy and the other contractors on how much it would be to move everything. And it actually worked out just as easy, if not better, to move everything.
It was less expensive.
Less expensive, and then I have the higher ceiling. So
yeah, that worked out good.
Right. So now we have the
problem,
and the plumbing's almost done. We're putting in the sewage pump, which is another thing. I didn't have to use those upflush type of Saniflow toilet, but so now the plumber has to put in this big sewage pump, and they got the hole dug out, and at the very end, I mean, this thing is like 6 inches away from going in. They hit granite or rock or something down there, they have to come back and I don't even know what. I don't know how big it is or how much work it's going to be. But the good thing is the company Atlanta Basements, it's not going to cost me any extra. I mean, I know it's a big hassle, inconvenience, and they got to get a jackhammer over here, so that's going to be money. It's extra time by the contractor, so I know it's costing money somewhere, but not me. It's all everything was taken care of. These little issues like that have been no sweat for me. I haven't had to worry about any of them. Everything's still on budget.
Great. And then do we want to talk about you being out of town when we were able to communicate the idea?
We had the design pretty much set. This is going to be the bedroom area, office bedroom, and the plan was to have a wall here and a door. And then, of course, when I was out of town, the designer called and said that she had a great idea. And, of course, once she said the idea, it was obviously a no-brainer. I told my wife, awesome, great, everybody loved it. And that was to, instead of having a wall the whole way across here, put in a nice-sized interior French door going back here. Great, awesome. I was out of town, called up, and had that completed. And then also, the French door is going to be sitting just a little bit behind this little archway. It's going to really kind of
make an entrance.
Yeah. It's gonna look more like an entrance, a little more formal.
And then two sconces on the side
for just the regular basement. So
right. I mean,
because
because this is an expensive basement per square foot because it's so small, and so we're trying to do something to jazz it up a little bit with the funds spent.
Yep.
You know, and then we had the bar. We were able to work the bar in.
Right. I said when I had the budget and they came down here, I was on tight budget. I mean, I wanted, that's why I figured with everything that was already here, let's just frame it in and go. She came down, had the idea of opening this up, didn't really make a huge difference in the price, and then I told her from the start, this is where I would like to have a bar, but a bar is my luxury, I guess. My wife didn't care if we had a bar or not. My kids don't care if we have a bar or not. But I said, if it's any way possible, this is... Immediately, she sketched out, showed me exactly how she would do it if she was going to do a bar back here. Said, according to everything else that's going on, it really won't make a big difference in price. So we were able to still get the bar in there also.
Okay, and then with the just in the plumbing, we were able to cut the concrete because it really is going to be better. I mean, it's a huge ordeal to handle this concrete, but the cutting the concrete is better than
well, I thought we would have to get one of the
Santa
Flow toilets, and so of course,
which are ugly. And you know what? I'll do a Google Hangout with you, Chris, and I'm going to edit this and put in the Santa Flow toilet because it's ugly.
We talked about it. I would need a toilet, and then the shower and the sink. Everything would have to go together exactly right, so everything goes into the one pump. Then for the bar, I'd have to have another pump to pump everything up because we're down below
the sewer line.
Below the sewer line. So everything would have had to pump up, including the bar. So
and then you can't, remember we were going to have the configuration. You remember how Santa Flush was laid out? You got dark in there. Remember how Santa Flush was laid out? Santa Flow was laid out where the toilet connects to the shower, connects to the sink, and you don't have you didn't have the freedom of where you wanted to put the shower.
Everything had to be exactly in the same spot, so that they would all feed into that same little pump.
Right.
Then another pump for the bar.
Right.
This was cut out one hole. I mean, it was a lot of work, I suppose, with the jackhammer and concrete cutter, but the contractor got that done. The plumber got that done just in one day, basically, no problem. So.
Very good.
It all fit in. It's a better design. I talked to other plumbers, which I didn't mention to you, and they said that if they were going to do it on their house, they would rather have the line dug up than to put that. So I didn't mention that to you, but once they told me that, then I felt a lot more comfortable going ahead and busting that up, and it worked out great. And again, the cost didn't even change.
Yeah.
It's a better system, and everything keeps fitting into the budget somehow. So it's great.
Thank you. Thank you.